Many people think that Maya civilization is a lost civilization. When the Maya were rediscovered in the 19th and 20th century, the early explorers and archaeologists found abandoned Maya cities in the jungle. Really a breathtaking motive and a breathtaking idea. This created the idea of a lost civilization. However, we know that the Maya are still alive. The Maya people still exist. Why were these cities abandoned? What happened to them? This is one of the big questions in archaeology, and we know that the Maya lowlands were densely populated and densely packed with a population of millions of people. And in the 9th century, something happened that drove people away from these cities. There are different theories. One set of theories believes in natural disaster such as famine, drought, a prolonged series of dry seasons and climate change, which is very popular today because everybody talks about climate change. And the other set of theories talks about internal reasons, internal conflicts, wars between Maya kingdoms. And we do have evidence for these wars, and that these wars eventually led to a collapse of Maya kingship and of the political institutions and all of the political infrastructure. And with the increase of warfare in the 9th century, most cities lost their kings and their elites and the nobility, and only a few people remained. The farmers remained in the cities, but only for a short period of time. After the palaces were abandoned, the rural population and the remaining population of the cities, which were not members of the elite, also abandoned these cities. They probably went north into the northern part of the Yucatan Peninsula, or south into the Guatemalan highlands, so that the cities in the central part of the Maya lowlands really were abandoned. By 950 or 1000 AD, there were hardly any people living in the Maya lowlands. Well, the impact of Europeans, of course, in the 16th century was enormous. They changed the entire lifestyle. They introduced a new religion, new thoughts. They introduced new diseases. They brought diseases such as smallpox and flu, for which the Maya and most of the indigenous populations of the Americas didn't have any antibodies. And the result was an incredible drop of population. By the beginning of the 17th century, only 10 or 15% of the original pre-Columbian population had survived. And it's only now that the numbers of indigenous population have risen again in the Maya world. When the Spaniards came, the use of the ancient writing system was prohibited. Europeans burned their books. They destroyed the cultural memory of the Maya people, or they wanted to destroy them. But the Maya also are a very resilient people, and they continued to memorize their culture and their traditions in their oral traditions. This is why today a lot of ancient Maya knowledge and culture is still existent. In particular, Mayan languages are still spoken by many million people in Guatemala and in Mexico. In particular, everything which is related to the culture of farmers and the culture of agriculture, and of the belief of the non-elite people, the non-royal people, continues until today.